The second deadly shark-related incident of 2023 left one Western Australia community in utter shock as a group of teens witnessed their young friend get fatally mauled while jet skiing on a local river. Saturday, February 4th, 2023, the height of summer in the Southern Hemisphere. As a matter of fact, this particular Saturday would go on record as the hottest day of the summer in the Perth metro area, with temperatures rising to a sweltering 39 degrees Celsius. Virtually everyone in the small port city of Fremantle, including the mayor herself, was in or around the nearest body of water, seeking refuge from the scorching sun. 16-year-old Stella Berry was certainly no different as she and her friends zipped up and down the banks of Swan River, completely unaware of the imminent danger that lay beneath the surface. And parenthetically, why would the teens be anything but carefree? I mean, they were a full 2.5 kilometers from the river's mouth into the Indian Ocean. And even with Southwest Australia's reputation as the area with the highest concentration of white sharks on the planet, surely they should be safe this far upriver. Unfortunately for Berry, that would turn out not to be the case, as there is one species of shark known to thrive hundreds of kilometers upstream in several river systems throughout the planet. A species recognized as much for its stocky build as for its ferocious demeanor. The species responsible for the third most attacks on humans historically. Carcahynus lucus, commonly referred to as the bull shark. It's the only shark on the planet that can survive in fresh water, and on this fiery February afternoon, there's a massive specimen stalking the depths of Swan River. According to reports, at around 3:20 p.m. local time, the 16-year-old was jet skiing with friends near the Fremantle Traffic Bridge when they encountered a pod of dolphins. The teen, apparently intrigued by the rare opportunity, made the split-second decision to jump into the river and swim beside the mythical mammals. As it would turn out, that instantaneously impulsive decision would ultimately cost her her life. According to witnesses, very soon after she entered the water, she screamed in distress as she was apparently bitten across both legs by a previously unnoticed shark. One or more male witnesses on the scene are said to have quickly acted as first responders, retrieving Berry's critically injured body from the water, while onlookers called for emergency services, all to no avail. In spite of the swift actions of paramedics on the scene, the teen had lost a massive amount of blood and could not be revived. At 6 p.m. local time, authorities made the official announcement that 16-year-old Stella Berry had perished as a result of her injuries. Friends of the victim who witnessed the tragic incident were understandably distraught, finding it difficult to process the sudden finality of the calamitous event.
We were all in contact with her less than 24 hours ago, and now she's not here with us. She was the sweetest and smartest girl that I knew, and she never had done anything wrong to anybody.
The girl's parents, who were not there at the time of the incident, were obviously devastated when informed of the unfortunate event. In a statement released to the press, Sophie and Matt Berry expressed their deep sadness regarding the loss of their young daughter, and recognized the support offered by the community in the wake of the horrifying attack. We are devastated and deeply shocked by the loss of our beautiful daughter, Stella. We want to acknowledge the amazing support we have received from our family, friends, authorities, and the Western Australia community. Stella was a vibrant and happy girl with plans of living in Europe after school. She was a caring person and was a dear friend to many. She had an infectious laugh, which we couldn't help laughing at too when we heard it. The teen's parents went on to acknowledge the girl's affinity for the water. Stella loved creating art and spending time with her friends, particularly at the river and beach. She had her skipper's ticket and often took her friends out on the river for a day of surfing, the statement went on to say. She was a beautiful and loving big sister and the best daughter we could have hoped for. We respectfully ask that the media now allow us the space and time we need to grieve our darling girl. Ironically, back in 2017, as a Year 5 student at St. Hilda's Anglican School for Girls, a then 10-year-old Berry, along with classmate Amelia Hagen, were acknowledged by Joe Dawkins, then mayor of neighboring Cotslow, for a school engineering project in which they designed a shark-proof swimming area, intended to be implemented at the city's beach. The girl's unique design so captivated Dawkins that the former mayor took this photo with the pair in a local newspaper, allowing them to show off their proposed design, which included a semicircular jetty with piers large enough to allow small fish to enter the pool, but too small for any large sharks to make entry. I'm most impressed that the girls are doing engineering at such a young age, Mayor Dawkins told local news outlet Perth Now. They've addressed safety issues, accessibility issues, social issues, and they've done it so creatively. On a personal note, I must concur. Now, I'm no expert. I just play one on YouTube. But based on the limited representation of the pool design displayed in the paper, the girls' plans certainly appear viable. However, in the aftermath of this unsettling episode, it's the neighboring city of Melville that has now reportedly partnered with the Western Australia government to install a shark enclosure in the river. An enclosure lobbied for merely weeks prior by the most recent victim of a shark attack in the river prior to Berry. Only 2 years before the unfortunate loss of Stella Berry, on January 14th of 2021, 54-year-old Cameron Rathall suffered critical injuries to his lower extremities as the result of a very similar incident in Bicton Baths, a popular Swan River swimming spot frequented by locals. Rathall's physical injuries were so extensive that, to this day, he complains that he has no sensation in his left foot and can, quote, barely feel his calf. However, the catastrophic loss of 16-year-old Berry has seemingly reopened other, less tangible wounds.
The family must be devastated, and I felt very upset for them, and it stirred up some uncomfortable feelings for myself also.
Unsurprisingly, the attack on Rathall was also determined to be caused by a bull shark in the Western Australia River. According to area experts, bull sharks in the area have long been known to enter the river system to breed. In fact, a 3-meter-long bull shark was reeled in by a local angler just 5 days following the death of the teen swimmer. However, no determination was made as to whether that shark was the individual responsible for the fatal attack before the massive bull shark was released back into the river. Nevertheless, in spite of the commonality of shark sightings in the area's freshwater habitats, shark attacks in the river are considered extremely rare events, with only 7 recorded instances of attacks resulting in injuries, most of which involved teens in the river between the months of November and February. In perhaps the most eerie coincidence, 16-year-old Berry's death comes nearly 100 years to the day of the last fatal shark attack in the Swan River. The death of 13-year-old Charles Robertson, who perished after being bitten in the back of his thigh while swimming in Freshwater Bay on January 27, 1923. Condolences to the family and loved ones of Stella Berry. It's always so sad to see a young person lose their life before it ever really gets started. But hopefully, her loss will help to raise awareness of bull sharks in rivers around the world. Now, shark heads, do you think that entering the water when dolphins were present played a role in this incident? Because honestly, it's a wobbler for me. Some experts say that there's no more or less risk of being bitten by a shark while swimming with dolphins. But I actually looked into it. And just a couple of weeks before this incident, there was a report of a dolphin that was mortally wounded by a shark near a beach in Sydney. Now, witnesses to that incident told reporters that the shark avoided humans to hunt the dolphin. However, the fact remains that the shark was hunting the dolphin. And if she jumped into the water with dolphins, well, like I said, I'm no expert, but maybe that's all they really need. An expert. Someone to make the public more aware of sharks in the river. Don't you think that the public should be better educated about sharks in fresh water? Maybe some pamphlets or signs. Perhaps a public service announcement or an after-school special. Anything to keep this from happening again. I mean, the poor girl was only 16 years old. Speaking of which, should officials have acted more swiftly to protect swimmers in the river following that attack back in 2021? I mean, God bless them. I hear Cam Rathall has made it back into the river. But let's be clear. That shark nearly took his leg and his life. The man shouldn't have to come to local authorities, hat in hand, to get them to do something that they should have done on their own immediately. But don't get me started. On a positive note, I hear that Western Australia's government is offering up seed money to local municipalities for their enclosure projects. Do you think that officials in these neighboring communities should also take the state up on its offer to provide upfront money for shark barriers? Because I know I certainly do. But hey, I could be wrong. So how about you let us and them know down in the comments below.